the USLP provided us with a strong framework for action and clear goals and metrics.
It was absolutely visionary at the time.
I don't think we had an expectation of what it would become.
The USLP has set Unilever apart. I think just making that statement has really changed everything for the business.
It was clear to me that going back to the roots of it, Lord Lever actually believed in a very integrated value chain, that we had to put a more responsible business model out there that reflected the need of society.
If we could set really ambitious objectives, then it would stretch people to think and act in a completely different way, not incrementally.
So Karen and I used to write all the drafts. Once we had got the basic architecture, it at that point became very much a collective effort.
The goals were very ambitious. It really required us to go well outside our comfort zone.
We didn't necessarily have a path mapped out of how we were going to achieve all of those different targets.
Well, I remember very clearly the week before launch feeling mildly terrified. But that's become a really good internal benchmark for when we know we're on the right track.
Aligning ourselves with the USLP, giving ourselves a North Star, all then gave us those foundations to then build a purpose.
We started working on a whole lot of programs on materials, lightweighting alternatives. We also were the first company in the world to ban the use of PVC.
It's really important to share with our competitors, peers, partners what we've learnt, because if you think Unilever has achieved zero landfill, why can't others?
When Unilever puts a product in a shelf, we drive business that raises people above poverty, that brings opportunities in all the places where we are operating.
We were really thought leaders in this among the industry, setting our own benchmarks, driving a reformulation agenda.
Low sugar, less Hellmann's real ketchup. Full of delicious natural ingredients.
We've managed to do it in a way that's kept our products delicious, tasty, and affordable.
We were doing really well in things like reducing emissions from our manufacturing operations, but doing really badly on helping consumers reduce emissions.
Trying to persuade people to change their habits has been incredibly difficult because people love long hot showers or long hot baths. I think our understanding of the consumer piece has matured massively in terms of understanding what we can and we can't do.
Of our crops we don't source directly, so it's very hard to kind of like make an impact.
Sometimes even if you have a sustainability certification at origin, in the process of trading the grain, you lose visibility of that.
We set up the roundtable for sustainable palm oil. We concentrated on crops and commodities like vanilla, cocoa, and areas where we could really make a difference.
No one has undertaken this journey quite on the same scale before. There will be bumps along the way. My advice is to stay the course because the journey is well worth the effort.
In terms of getting things done, people's lives enhanced, you'd have to say that it's a pretty good decade.
My emotions are a sense of real pride in what the team has accomplished.
And we've learnt all along the way.
The challenge around inequality and the barriers for women to actually fully participate in society continue to exist. Work together with UN Women on developing a global framework to drive safety for women in rural spaces.
Unilever's been able to convene a large number of partners and get a large number of programs off the ground in many countries, and that's what's required here.
The work that we do, it's really meaningful in the world. It is about driving transformational change at scale. We don't just help one person, we help millions of people.
It really gives you the understanding that what you're doing is real and is really touching people.
When we set the USLP, so kind of anything to do a bit less bad was great. The reality is that's not good enough anymore.
People want to work there because of the USLP.
It's made Unilever one of the most attractive employers in the world.
There's really no limit to what we can achieve once people, teams, and the whole company comes together.
As we approach the sunset of the first iteration of the USLP, and now is the time to acknowledge both the amazing things that have been achieved and some of the gaps to our original ambition, and use that as a springboard for even greater ambition into the future.